chapter Cell Structure and Function. Let's begin the chapter. Things in our surrounding can be divided into two categories: living beings and non-living things. Living beings can be further categorized into plants and animals. And if we observe in this picture, animals and plants both are able to carry out all life processes. Both animals and plants take food, and both plants and animals transportation of food and water take place. Both animals and plants do respiration, and both are capable of excreting out waste. In this chapter, we shall study about basic structural unit of living beings, that is cell. Before starting the cell, let's take the example of your school building. Your school building is made of rooms, and rooms are further made of walls, and walls are further made of bricks. So we can say that bricks are basic structural unit of your school building. Similarly, in case of living beings, we can say in case of organism is made of different organ systems like respiratory system and digestive system. And if we take example of digestive system is made of different organs like stomach, small intestine, large intestine. And let's take the example of one particular organ like stomach. It is made up of different kinds of tissue like epithelial tissue, nervous tissue, muscle tissue and connective tissue. And if we take one particular tissue, suppose muscle tissue, it is made of cell. So we can say that cell is the basic structural unit of all living beings. And cell is also functional unit of life. How it is functional unit of life? We know that single cell, as in case of amoeba, single cell is able to carry out all life processes like digestion, respiration, transportation. So we can say that cell is also functional unit of life. Let's start with discovery of cell. That is how first of all cell was discovered. Robert Hooke in 1665 observed thin slices of cork tree. He has taken very thin slices of bark of this particular cork tree and observed under magnified lens. Then he observed empty compartments were there, like honeycomb empty compartments were there. So he coined the term cell for these empty compartments. Cell means little chambers, little compartments. So word cell he coined is a misnomer. How it is misnomer? As the cell he discovered that were dead cells, that were empty chambers. Cell we know today, they are very complex structure with cytoplasm and nucleus. And first living cell was observed by scientists named Anton von Leeuwenhoek in 1674. He observed different kinds of living cell like WBC, RBC and bacterial cell and sperm cells. Cell theory was given. The postulates of those cell theory were that all living organisms are made up of cells, whether plants or animals, all are made of cells. And cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Let's see our cell theory timeline. In 1665, Robert Hooke discovered the cell, and then in 1674, Anton von Leeuwenhoek observed first living cell. And later on in 1883, Robert Brown observed darkly stained spherical structure within the cell. Discuss the topic cell number. Can you guess the number of cells in this tall tree or a very big animal, that is elephant? The number can run into millions and trillions. What can be the number of cells in human body? It can be in trillions. Depending on the number of cells, organisms can be unicellular or multicellular organisms. So what are unicellular organisms? An organism that is made up of only one cell is called as unicellular organism. Examples of unicellular organisms are bacteria, paramecium, and amoeba. What are multicellular organisms? An organism that is made up of more than one cell is called as multicellular organisms. Examples are plants, animals, and fungus. Depending on number of cells, organisms can be of two types, unicellular and multicellular organisms. So uni means one, only one, and multi means many. Keep these examples in your mind while differentiating between unicellular and multicellular. I have shown you pictures of bacteria, amoeba, and paramecium, and keep the examples also in mind: trees, grass, and insects. So let's differentiate between these two types. So unicellular organisms are the organisms which contain only one cell, and multicellular organisms contain many cells. Second point is that in case of unicellular organisms, just like amoeba, single cell is carrying out all life processes like digestion, respiration, excretion, etc. While in case of multicellular organisms like trees, human beings, different group of cells perform different functions. Third difference is that in case of unicellular organism, there is no division of labor. That is, work is not divided among different parts. But in case of multicellular organism, there is division of labor. Different group of cells perform different functions. So work is divided between different groups of cells in case of multicellular organism. And all multicellular organisms also start their life from a single cell, that is unfertilized, that is fertilized egg known as the zygote. Let's discuss next topic, cell shape. So you can see there is great variation in shape of cells in different organisms. You can see the egg cell, that is ovum, is spherical in shape, and the shape of this is a sperm cell. So you can see its shape, and the bone cells are the having many branches. You can see so many branches are there in the case of bone cells, and the muscle cell is spindle shape. It is thicker in the center and tapers at the sides. So there is great variation in the cell shape, and nerve cells, neurons are having elongated shape. These cells are of different shape. Their shapes are related to their function. For example, nerve cell is elongated in shape because it transmit or it carry the message from one cell to the other cell, or it carries message from the sensory organs to the brain. So the cell shape is related to their function. Generally, cells have definite shape, but there are few cells which can change their shape. For example, amoeba. In case of amoeba, there are small projections are there of varying length. These projections are known as the pseudopodia. These pseudopodia help amoeba in capturing food. It help in capturing food. It help in engulfing this food. And these pseudopodia also help in movement to help the amoeba to move. Another cell with varying shape is WBC, white blood cells. They also have projections and they can engulf foreign material and help in protecting the body system. Let's discuss about cell size. So generally, cells are very small in size, so they cannot be seen with naked eyes. They can be seen with microscope, and their size is generally measured in terms of micrometer. This is a symbol for micron. 1 micron is equal to 10 raised to power minus 6 meter. That is, if we divide 1 meter into this much 1 lakh parts, we will get 1 micron. So small cells are. And if we discuss about smallest cell are placed in the category of mycoplasma. These are mycoplasma, and example of mycoplasma are the PPLO. PPLO stands for pleuropneumonia. If we discuss that which is the biggest cell, largest cell, that is ostrich egg, and its size is about 170 into 130 millimeter. If we discuss range of cell size in human beings, we can say in human beings sperm cell is the smallest cell that have the size of 5 micron, and besides this even we consider RBCs which are discoidal in shape, so they are also smallest cell in the human body. They have size near about 5 to 7 micron, and the largest cell in human body is the ovum cell that has a size about 120 micron, and near about we can say 0.1 millimeter size is there for the human ovum cell. And the nerve cells are very long cells, so we can say longest cells in human body are the nerve cells, which has a size of 1 meter, near about 1 meter size is there. So these are the longest cells in human body. Cell has no relation with the size of body of the animal, whether it is elephant, whether it is a tall tree. It doesn't mean that the size is big. In the grass, cell size will be very small. In the tree, cell size will be very large. In elephant, cell size will be very large. So whether it is rat, cell size doesn't mean that cell size will be very small. So cell size has no relation with the size of the organism. Cell size is related to its function. For example, if we take the nerve cells of rat, if we take the nerve cells of elephant, the cell size remains same because they carry out the same function. If the size of the organism will be large, number of cells will increase, their number get increased.